What is going on, wrestling fans? It's I, Steve Fall. Welcome to 10 Count Media. On today's edition, I'm talking to the GOAT of professional wrestling referees. It's Earl Hebner. How are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, it's always a pleasure. Every time we've talked before, we definitely have highlighted your book that's right behind me. So I have you behind me, you in front of me. Double referees, it would seem like. And that's going to, even you have a copy. Of course you do. You probably have
one.
You put money in your own pocket, Earl. You put money in your own pocket. But the fact that you have one and I have one, and that again triggers what I want to talk about today, is the double referees that happened in 1988, because this still goes down as one of the most historic storylines in professional wrestling, because you can only pull this trick off once. We have seen bad guys turn good guys turn evil. We have seen girls leave their men. We've seen so many storylines, but you can only pull off the double twin once. And before we even begin to get there, when you came into the WWF, put the F back in for a minute, did anyone know that you had a twin brother?
I'm not going to say nobody knew, but nobody even thought about it.
So people were aware that you had a twin brother beforehand?
Well,
Some.
It's a few, yeah. But most of them, when I walked through the building, everybody thought I was David.
So they knew your brother beforehand?
Oh, yeah.
And how did they know your brother before?
Well, because he was a referee for Vince for I don't know how many years up there.
Oh.
So he refereed for Vince too. So,
by
seeing David, and we look so much alike, majority of the people go, "Hey, Dave, how you doing?" I go, "Hey, how you doing?" Kept walking to make it to Vince's office.
Wow. Now, so your brother already worked for the WWE at that time as a professional referee, correct?
Right.
So when you came in, when did you get hired for the WWE? In this storyline or beforehand?
No, I just got hired in this storyline.
Wow. You just blew my mind there, because that they obviously, your brother, he must have told somebody that, hey, I have a twin brother, because how is this pitched to you? Does your brother call you on the phone and tells you, hey, we got a great idea, you should come in? How is this actually delivered to you? How are you told this is going to happen?
Well, they were trying to figure to make an imposter to look like Dave. And then my brother told Hogan, I got a twin brother. And he said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah." So they brought me up and we talked about it and everything. And that's how it ended up. Because
Wow.
they didn't have to do anything but bring me in, and you had two twins.
I was going to say, how would they make your brother look like? I wonder if they didn't have a twin brother, if he didn't have a twin brother, I wonder how they could say, like, oh, we'll just put some a fake nose and some fake, some skin on someone's face and make it look real.
Right. But this was so real that it could never be duplicated.
No.
This was the real deal here.
Again, it's one of those storylines that I think is intense. So before you coming into the WWF, do you have any, like, I might be stupid asking this question, but do you have any experience as a referee in the business beforehand? Like, are you in the business, or if someone finds out, hey, Dave has a twin brother named Earl?
No, I worked for Jim Crockett, for about 12 years.
Okay.
Or more.
Wow. So you already have this incredible experience, and obviously Crockett television and the WWF's television, they don't really cross over that much, because it's still not regional for the WWF, but they are still huge. But Crockett obviously is in a different market there. So again, with this double referee situation, this is seen by 33 million viewers. 33 million people watched this double referee story break out in front of all of our eyes. How does that feel to know that out of all the wrestling moments, Austin and Rock and Taker, whatever, this moment with involving you and your brother and Hogan and Andre, this is like the most views on television for a wrestling storyline ever. Like, personally, for you, how proud of you are of that?
What's that?
how proud do you feel about knowing that 33 million people watched you pull off the greatest storyline in a referee situation?
I was thrilled. I was really thrilled, and that's what got me going up there. You know, made my career in this business.
Yeah. And it's on the main event of NBC on February 5th, 1988. And it aired in prime time on NBC Friday night special. Usually these main events or these Saturday night main events happened when Saturday Night Live was not on air on Saturdays. This is prime time on a Friday night. And usually that doesn't happen in professional wrestling. But the storyline here is we're getting a WrestleMania 3 rematch on television. Hogan is defending the championship against André the Giant. Now, you weren't in the company at the time, but were you aware of how impactful WrestleMania 3 was on the WWF and the wrestling business in general?
I knew it was a highlight.
Because,
I know it was way up there.
Like when you have news outlets and you have actual syndication of this programming on news across the country covering Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, that's when you know, hey, I think we made it here. So now you're in the rematch of this. Are you feeling butterflies? Are you feeling nervous about going into this match in general? Because now you need to pull off the storyline with your brother. Also, you're involved with 33 million people watching. Plus, it's Hogan versus Andre WrestleMania 3 rematch. If this gets screwed up, I can't imagine you'd be with the company as long as you were.
Oh man, but well, I'll have to admit, I was nervous as hell. I mean, nervous. I mean, man, when I was going to the ring to do the match, uh, my stomach was like a boiler. I mean, man, I looked around, and you look around, you see all these people. You know what I'm saying? And you're thinking, oh my God, and that's my first time ever being there. So I'd never been in front of that many people working for Crockett, And I'm going, holy smokes, man, this is unreal.
Yeah, what was that like?
Huh?
I said, what was that like having the difference of the crowd?
It's just I've never been in front of that many people before my whole life, never, never. And I was thinking, this is unreal, and this is me in front of all these people. And I'm thinking when we get to the end of the deal, they're gonna kill me.
Yeah, I remember Hogan yelling, "How much did the plastic surgery cost?" I just remember that happening there. Though the storyline heading into this as well is the $1 Million Man wants to also buy the WWF Championship. So DiBiase has hired Andre to win the title for him. Now, Andre the Giant, to so many wrestling fans who don't even watch wrestling, know Andre, know his history. How is Andre as a person? As personally to you, what was Andre like? Because we all hear stories about him being, playing dominoes or crips and things like that. But what was he like to you? You have a good Andre
great.
story?
He was great. I mean, truthfully, he was amazed that we had twins, that I had a twin brother, and he was just, just as joyful as he could be, knowing that this was going to be awesome.
That's good to hear. Yeah, because Andre the Giant is one of those characters that still to this day everyone respects as a person, as a character, because of his massive size and the things he did. But with you, in your book, you have so many great stories with so many different wrestlers. With Hulk Hogan involved with this as well, what were his thoughts about this whole storyline and you coming into the company? Because Hogan is the man at this point in time.
Right. Well, to be honest with you, Hogan couldn't believe that this was something that came true, because you didn't have to do nothing. Everything was set. You had the two lookalikes, and it was nothing but a gold mine.
Of course, 100%.
Yeah. And there was no putting this together, putting that together. It was just two people that looked alike, and that was awesome.
100%. Yeah. The big twist in though, of course, is bringing you in. And with DiBiase in the storyline, he used his wealth to hire a lookalike referee to screw over Hogan. And you were introduced as Dave Hebner, the identical twin brother, a real WWF referee. But during the matchup, Andre pins Hogan, but Hogan's shoulders were clearly off the mat. The referee, being you, was paid off by DiBiase. You counted a fast count, 1, 2, 3. Then after the bell, all hell breaks loose. The $1 Million Man purchases the world title from André the Giant. Now, for you, as a historian yourself in professional wrestling, how did you think that was? Because we have layers to this storyline. It's not just two twin referees as well. We have Hogan, who hasn't lost a match in about 3-4 years, just lost because of you. And now DiBiase has bought the world title. For you having two layers to the storyline and seeing DiBiase, what were your thoughts on a championship being purchased? Because that's the first time I remember in wrestling that you could actually just buy, hey, you're world champion. Here's $1 million. And now I'm the champion. What do you think about that?
Well, it's pretty awesome that the $1 Million Man, like you said, every man's got a price.
That's right.
So, and it all fell in line like it should have. He bought perfect. Me. He paid me. He's the world champion.
It was absolutely perfect when that all broke down. Now, what happens, though, is after the bell, now you have you in the ring, but now Dave is also in the ring, leading to mass confusion. And as Mandela Man is celebrating, as Andre surrendered the new world championship to him, Hogan steps in the ring. Now, Andre was declared champion, but it immediately gives the belt to DiBiase. And then, as storyline goes, President Jack Tunney declared the title vacant because the reason is you can't buy a WWF title. That also led to a tournament at WrestleMania 4. But when Hogan gets in the ring and grabs you and grabs your brother, and he's confused, he doesn't know what's happening. And you can feel that crowd. Even that crowd is going crazy because they can't believe what they just witnessed. It's a trick that can only be pulled off once. Tell me, like, you beforehand, you have butterflies, you're a little nervous, you've never seen all these people. Now you've pulled off the greatest angle in the 80s and early 90s. How are you feeling when you're hearing the crowd? Can you even hear the crowd, or you're just so glued into Hogan?
Oh yeah. Well, let me start right here for a minute.
Yeah.
When we planned this thing, we were at the warehouse and we worked through it probably 2 weeks. Okay.
Wow.
And the whole deal was Hogan would pick me up, take me over to where Andre and DiBiase and Virgil was, and throw me to them. Okay? Well, everybody gets excited, right? Even me. Hogan picks me up. He starts running. I'm going, this ain't the program. When he tosses me, he launches me. I overwent everybody. I hit the concrete floor. I splintered my rotor cup right here. Smashed it. The next day, by me being excited and all the commotions going on, I didn't realize I was hurt. Till the next day. When I got on a plane to come home, I guess it was the pressure from the plane and all the other stuff. I couldn't move my arm. I was trying to raise it, and then finally I had to take this hand and raise it to move it. Wow. So I called Vince, and I said, I think my arm's messed up. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, when I hit the floor, I splintered all the bones in my rotor cup. It was totally gone. They flew me to Birmingham. I went to see Dr. Andrews, and he took x-rays, and because we got to operate on it, and the bones are just total gone, smashed. So I came home, packed all my clothes, stuff. He said, you'll probably be in here 2 days. I was down there a week after the operation because it kept bleeding. And then when I did get to come home, I spent 8 weeks at Health South in rehab to get it back right. So my
Wow.
first day there, and then after my first night in the ring, I'm home 8 weeks going to rehab.
So let's bring it back for a minute then. I feel so terrible for you. When you guys rehearsed this in the warehouse, did they actually pick you up and throw you outside? Or they
No.
this was the okay. It was the idea of doing it. They're like,
They
oh, we'll
picked me
do
up
this.
and said, "I'll hand you to them."
Hmm.
Okay, so there's no way in the world they could have missed it the way we planned it.
Hmm.
But Hogan got excited, and when he started running, I mean, brother, he just launched me.
Oh yeah. Oh, the
And
visuals there.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you've watched the film, and millions of people watch it. But I went all over everybody.
So how are you feeling about that? It's your first night in the company, and you're not being protected, clearly, because the excitement got into everyone's soul. But at the same time, like, you. What if you landed so hard you could never referee again? That was your business. That was your profession. How did you feel emotionally? Obviously, physically, you were terrible. How were you feeling? Going like, well, we went over this, and what the hell, man? Like, you totally overshot me. No one even put their hands up to stop me. I'd be pissed off.
Well, you know what? It was so much excitement, and even myself was excited.
Mm-hmm.
And but when he started running, I go, "This is not what we planned." And then when he launched me, I was gone. But it at that moment and that time, it didn't bother me because it was so much emotions and all the bullshit going on. I didn't even I didn't realize they'd missed me till I hit the floor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was just excited as everybody else. And Hogan was excited.
Yeah.
And I guess he just figured, oh, I got to go with this. And it is what it is.
Were they supposed to just pick you up? Was he supposed to just pick you up and like dump you over the top rope and like into
So,
their arms? Because
yeah, just
if you
throw
okay,
me through them.
because if you watch it back, they're so far back in the middle already. I'm not sure if Hogan's like, how am I gonna get this guy, Earl Hebner, into the arms of Andre and Virgil and the $1 Million Man if they're so far back already? Well, I guess I'll whip him. And apparently he whipped you too hard because if you watch the video, no one catches you. You just fly
No.
over their heads and you land hard. Obviously, as you just described, the pain and the suffering you went through after doing that, dude. I guess. So, how do you feel though? Here we are, so many years later, decades later, talking about that moment. It's still impactful. It's still amazing to see. But you're like, man, that was a great moment. But I had to suffer for one of the greatest moments of all time. How do you feel about the sacrifice you've made to be one of the greatest moments of all time?
Well, back then it felt great. But
How's your,
right
yeah,
now, I still have trouble with the shoulder. It
of
still
course.
cracks like Rice Krispies. And it is what it is. And cold weather kills me with it. Even though it was fixed and operated on, but it's still bad. You know.
Wow. Yeah, I would say, yeah, 1988, it was a great moment. And then in today's world, you're probably thinking, well, I don't know if I was aware of that. But obviously that set you off because so you're home for 8 weeks taking care of yourself. When do you get a phone call from, say, either Vince or someone in the company saying, okay, well, we want to bring you in. We're going to have you as an actual referee. How do they explain to you that they're going to bring you in and you're no longer evil?
Oh well, I had a job there.
Mm-hmm.
After this, I knew I was going to be a full time referee for them, and they made my brother an agent. Maybe a couple months after that.
Okay.
You know,
Were
but
they
I knew I had a job.
right? Of course. I'm saying more of a like on television to explain this evil referee that got plastic surgery because Hulk Hogan backstage goes berserker crazy about this. He's screaming like, "How much did the plastic surgery cost?" Because he's assuming that you're not a twin. You're an evil person that
Right.
got plastic surgery to look like Dave Hebner. And to me, again, that's the genius part of it all because they're still trying to convince us you're not actually a twin. You're a guy who got plastic surgery. We got a cameo.
Excuse
We
me.
got a cameo. Cats, man. If I was writing the most important novel of all time, a cat would jump on my keyboard and ruin it.
Well, when you call him, he never comes. When you don't need him, he's always around.
That seems to be the way.
But,
It seems to be the way.
Well, the thing was after the show, my brother and I both refereed for maybe 2 months in different towns.
Okay.
He'd go to one town, I go to the other, because they still didn't want everybody to know that it was two of us. Oh,
right.
Twins.
Yeah. It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, but I caught. Well, we both caught a lot of heat.
I bet. I bet, because when Hulk Hogan lost the championship, he hasn't lost since 1984 when he beat Iron Sheik for the championship. So in reality, you technically made Hogan lose the belt because of your plastic surgery. And when you think about it, in today's world, people know that it's a show. In 1988, a lot of people believed that it was still real. They were fighting. These people were not. It was not a show. They were fighting each other for real. And the fact that you made Hulk Hogan, what is that like for you when you're in the streets or like at the grocery store and someone sees you and they're like, "You piece of garbage"? Did it ever happen to you with Hogan?
Up north, it was kind of bad.
Wow.
Now my hometown, the people that knew me, it was pretty cool. But up there, those northerns, they're rude and nasty and mean.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm from New England.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. I know what you're talking about. We're from the north, and we will honk at you for fun.
About you. I'm talking about the Marks.
Oh, of course, not the people who live. I live in Massachusetts, so describing Connecticut.
You know what? Up there, that Hogan, that's God's country for Hogan.
Oh God, 100%. Yeah,
and he can do no wrong up there.
No,
but I can.
Yeah.
And I've done it. But I think it's great though. I love the heat. I love it.
Yeah,
I've always loved being the bad guy.
Well, certain wrestling fans probably look at you in different light for different situations, but the Hogan one definitely is one of those. Oh my, because you think of, a magician. A magician can only say like disappear if he with a twin once, because if it's revealed that he has a twin, well, the trick's done. You can only pull it off once. There's no way. Because later on, we had like the Bella twins who tried to pretend they were different people with twin magic. We know they were twins. With you and your brother, nobody knew you were twins. Even the fact that you're and then you're saying they put you on different towns so people wouldn't see you together. To me, that is absolutely brilliant, and it makes the magic even more real because now we don't know for sure. Like, are they? So when you're in different towns, are they saying you're Dave?
Yeah. They always thought I was Dave.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And like you said, they still think it was an imposter and he's gone.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're gone because you broke your arm on the cement. Probably. That's what they probably think. But geez Louise. Before we even move on, did Andre and $1 Million Man and Hogan and Virgil ever apologize, being like, "Whoops, I think we threw you too far, and also we didn't catch you"? Did anyone actually say anything, or was more just it happens?
It just happened. Actually, they didn't even know I was hurt, and I didn't either till I was flying on the plane the next day.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
that story again is one of the greatest wrestling storylines of all time. 33 million people watched that night when we have Hulk Hogan lose the championship to Andre in a WrestleMania 3 rematch. And on top of that, we have an evil referee who got plastic surgery to trick that Hulk Hogan to getting his championship out. DiBiase buying from Andre. It is still chef's kiss to that storyline involving you and your brother and Hogan and Andre. Before we wrap this up though, when you go back and think of the proudest moments of your career, this has got to be up there on the list because this is your first night and you're part of the most impactful moment in the 80s in professional wrestling.
That set the goal for me. That was my number one goal.
Mm-hmm.
And from then on, it was all made.
You hit it out of the park. You hit a home run that night, 100%. Again, thank you so much today talking about the double referee storyline, because it is one of the greatest of all time. Again, I am Steve Fall. He's Earl Hebner. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.